This is the part 2. I, for some reason, lost one of my sides of the coffin. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do like it's a broken. I have looked everywhere. Sorry, it happens. We're not perfect. If you look at May and Creator Scrap Design YouTube channel, you're going to see how May Larson did her coffin. I try to do mine a little different, and instead of using paper, I use ribbon. This ribbon, I had it, and it gave me the look of like the greenish, you know, like that mussy, moldy, and it has some gold trim and stuff in it. So these are the size of the coffin, and what I did, I painted the whole entire black, but I didn't paint the notches. So when I glue them, they go easy on it. Because sometimes if you put glue or something or paper on the notches, it's a little hard to get it through. So I wanted to show you, for example, and this has numbers. May was nice enough to put numbers. You can see the number after you paint them. And what I did is I used this ribbon, and believe it or not, it's a Christmas ribbon. I cut a piece, and it fit perfectly on the sides of the coffin. So I am doing the outside of the coffin like this. So what I'm going to do is put some of these glue. You can use any glue you want. I'm going to use this glue for the ribbon because this, or you can use, I wasn't going to use my fabric tack, but this one seems to be working okay. So what I did is I put some here, and again, apologize my hands. I was painting the coffin. I've been trying to do this video for the longest time, and every time I try, something comes up, and I want to do it before because it's for sale in the store. And if that way, if you still want to make a coffin, she ships pretty quickly, unless you are international, of course, but still you can do. So this part is there, and I will let these ones, they've been glued for a while. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the scissors, and I use the scissors. These are the Tim Holtz huge scissors. Come on. Okay, so if you can that way, try the other way. There we go. And I am going to cut this one. Try to get as close as possible, like that. You see, you're always going to get like a little, I don't know if it's because the scissors are too big, but there it is. That's that one. And I was going to cut these other ones, and I'll be back. Okay. The interiors, I know May and hers, she put together the coffin, and then she decorated. I am a little clumsy like that because I have arthritis in my hands. So I'm using for the interior, and I'm putting it kind of in the middle, the Chinese spray. And what I'm doing is I am putting a line of glue. It's hard to see. Let me see. A line of glue like that. And then I put this, press it down, let it dry. I always cut it a little bigger piece. So that's the way I'm doing this. Okay, so I'm going to do the other ones and be back. Okay, like you see, I have, this is the outside of the coffin and this is the inside. So this is gonna go here like this. So I wanted the coffin to have like a trim, like, do you know the coffins? I didn't have what you call it, I had a white trim, but I wanted more like an off-white, and I didn't want it antique. So I have, if you notice, I have all the parts of my coffin here and where it's supposed to go. So I'm gonna do a technique in here, and since I know this part goes there, I'm gonna move them like this so you guys can see. I am going to use my, I'm sorry that I tripped. I'm gonna use my Versamark, and I am going to put on my coffin. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just gonna put it in like this. And then I'm gonna use embossing powder. This is Adirondack moss. So I am going to just spill it over. Be careful not to put in the holes. And I sure did. And it doesn't matter that you didn't cover the whole thing. I did that on purpose because I'm gonna do something that later on you're gonna see, and you know that you are going to, oops, there's a flower in here. What is this doing? You're gonna take your paper and pour your embossing back. And embossing, I have embossings that have lasted me forever. So that's what I did with mine. You know what? Is that the front or the back? Make sure you know which one is the front and which one is the back. This is the front, so I'm okay. Now I'm going to emboss. I apologize, all you're seeing is my hand. You just want to make sure that you got all the areas. So you have to be careful because this gets very hot. And I want it patchy. But I want to make sure that all the emboss is. So I'll be back. Okay, what I did in the back was I used a different color for the back, and I used this Whisper metallic one. So I am going to emboss it now with the heat tool. Melt the embossing powder. Gonna start here. And I'll be back. Okay, so this is how is the back of the coffin. And I use the Whisper metallic one. And this is the inside of the coffin. I sprinkle a little bit of another coat of the ETU is the very thick embossing to give them that white look, patchy look. And I use white ink. So this part over here, there's going to be moss and stuff inside that I'm going to put in here. So I didn't want to put too much things around the edges. So now that we have this done, we are going to start to assemble this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue, I'm sorry. And this glue dries clear, so don't worry. And we are just going to put part number 4 here. You have to do a little bit of pressure and hold it there. And this is how it looks. Look the side. There's a little glue, extra glue. I just want to push mine as far as I can. And I'm going to clean that little bit of glue there. So this is the way we're going to put all the sides. They click there, perfect. This is the part that I don't have anything because I lost that piece. I might found it later, but we'll deal with that. I'm going to assemble my coffin and then I will be back for the next step, okay? You guys do the same.